On today's episode of Cino de Totama, we'll talk about gaming animes. Well, one's a VR MMO anime, while the other is, I already forgotten, holy shit. Shangri Frontier is a 24-episode VR MMO anime whose defining feature is that it is probably the closest an anime has gotten to a Let's Play that I've ever seen. The whole plot is very simple. Our main hero likes trash games. Trash games are the games that are buggy or ridiculously hard for no reason because Japanese are just spoiled like that. Oh, and the games are also virtual reality because of course they are, why wouldn't they be? It is basically the only way for the artist to just have the setting of a world make sense. And so the hero buys the best VR MMO called Shangri Frontier and decided to play it. That is it. That is literally the entire story. Everything else is just us watching the player play the game, sometimes with his friends and having fun with it. There is no big plot about this MMO world being real, none of that if you die in-game, you die in real life bullshit. It is just, effectively, a let's play of an imaginary game through and through. And it's fun! It is really fun watching it and remembering all the various Let's Plays I've seen on YouTube, including what are basically just D&D campaigns ported into other media. And yes, the show does have all of the problems / tropes of this subgenre. Which one is the worst will depend solely on how anal you want to be about the topic. Do you want your show to have drama? There is no drama here, because it's a Let's Play. All episodes of this show are basically dudes playing video games, and any and all drama is immediately mitigated by the fact that their characters can respawn. Do you want pedantic accuracy to game mechanics? Yeah, no. The game mechanics are explained as much as a regular player would want them to be explained, so to a min-maxer that only plays the current meta, this anime will be stupid and torturous. Are you annoyed when other players in these MMO games behave like a typical NPC in anime, commenting about other people's attires and actions, while if anything in a real game, the best a gamer would say to a hero is call him some sort of racial slur? Oh shit, that's right. Thank you, racial slurs, because now I've remembered the other anime I wanted to talk about, Solo Leveling, the first 12-episode half of a new hot adaptation of a Korean webcomic and a novel of the urban lit RPG variety. This genre is so common in Korean media, it's basically their equivalent of a shonen manga. So in our modern-day setting, suddenly dungeons appear. They can look like a tower or like a portal, in our case it's a portal, but the result is always the same. There's a gate to another dimension that is filled with fantasy monsters that can't be destroyed by conventional firearms. As a result, specialized people with superpowers called hunters appear. They start hunting monsters for loot, then form guilds. This is the urban part. Our hero is a weak beta male that due to a set of circumstances becomes an alpha male with the help of a system which is basically sentient user interface in a video game. This is the lit RPG part. Bonus points if the main character also gets some sort of edgy skill or a class like Voodoo Priest or a Necromancer or Exterminator of Justice or Barbarian, because once again this is a shonen anime. The main target audience for this are teenagers, not something-year-old grumpy spirits. And yeah, as far as adaptations go, this anime is actually pretty decent. Sure, it's not the best, especially when compared to a webcomic or a novel where most of the visuals are done by your imagination, but I personally only care if the story was adapted from the source faithfully enough, and sure thing, this anime is pretty much identical with the webcomic pages I read. The graphics are fine, nothing special, but also not bad. The music is meh. I guess the biggest problem to me was that the whole anime feels, incredibly Korean, for a lack of a better term. You can even see it in the graphics, with people's chins being so pointy I bet their heads can be used as piercing projectiles. It can be seen in every aspect of the world, from the politicking of the guilds, which are always a very thin reference to Korean megacorporations, to the typical Korean problems of having no money, to the fact that eventually Korea becomes the center of international attention and pretty much everyone outside of exotic women, for the protagonists are Korean as well. And the names like Solo Leveling are very, hyper-individualistic, with the main point ultimately being that society and the status quo can't be trusted, might makes right, and people with power need to carve their own kingdoms filled only with people they can trust or people that can't disobey them. Okay, Auntie, that's enough, or we'll start singing the internationals soon. I should say here that none of those are necessarily a bad thing. What I'm trying to say here is that this is an extremely Korean thing, and to some people just may be too boring to watch. It doesn't help that the structure of the story is also that of an isekai, where the protagonist gets superpowers and dominates everyone. If you like these sorts of stories, then Solo Leveling is not a bad anime to watch. Worst thing that is going to happen to you is that you'll just be left unimpressed. If you don't like these stories though, nah, don't watch it. There's nothing of worth in here whatsoever.